Imagine, 150 million years ago, deep in the late Jurassic period, a massive shadow emerges from the mist. Its footsteps shake the ground, and its eyes gleam with the cold focus of a hunter. This live Allosaurus, a dominant hunter of its era, powerful yet not fully understood. For years in the world of dinosaurs, it often lived in the shadow of Tyrannosaurus Rex's legacy. But in truth, Allosaurus was the true king of its own era. Roaming the hot, humid Jurassic forests, this beast was one of ancient Earth's most effective predators. Today, we're going to uncover the story of this unforgettable resident of a lost world, both its strengths and its weaknesses. Have you ever wondered whether what makes a dinosaur dangerous is just its size, or whether other factors are at play? We're going to find the answer together. If you're into paleontology and fossils, you're in exactly the right place. If you watch until the end, you might learn facts about Allosaurus you've never heard before. If you're ready, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Now, let's travel back 150 million years and step into the world of Allosaurus. Our story doesn't actually begin 150 million years ago. It begins in the 19th century. In 1877, while on an expedition in Colorado, paleontologist Othniel Charles Marsh came across fossil fragments unlike anything he had encountered before vertebrae, strangely both lightweight and powerful. This mysterious find would become the beginning of Allosaurus's discovery. Marsh named this creature Allosaurus, meaning different lizard. Why do you think giving a dinosaur the right name matters so much to scientists? Share your thoughts in the comments. As excavations continued, something incredible happened at the legendary Cleveland-Lloyd Dinosaur Quarry in Utah. Paleontologists found not just one Allosaurus, but dozens of bones of different ages, tangled together in a single site. This location became one of the richest sources of Allosaurus fossils on the planet. That's exactly what makes fossils so powerful. They're not just old rocks, they're messages sent across 150 million years, waiting for someone curious enough to listen. If you could dig up any dinosaur fossil in the world, which species would you choose? Drop your answer below. I'm genuinely curious. But we shouldn't rush to accept every claim about Allosaurus right away. Some scientists remain skeptical about certain interpretations of the fossil record. Finding many skeletons in one place doesn't necessarily mean the animals lived or died together. It might simply be coincidence. Understanding Allosaurus's true nature may be far more complex than it first appears. Now we know how the world discovered Allosaurus. But here comes the big question. What did this creature actually look like? It's time to lift the curtain and picture Allosaurus in its full glory. Now it's time to truly picture Allosaurus. Imagine a creature roughly 8.5 to 9.7 meters long, weighing 2 to 2.5 tons. A dinosaur as long as a bus, yet moving with a predator's agility. For comparison, this size made it somewhat smaller than T-Rex, yet still one of the largest predators of its time. Roaming the Jurassic forests, it was an imposing presence that overshadowed nearly every creature it encountered. This size gave it a serious advantage in the Jurassic forests. It was big enough to intimidate most rivals, yet nowhere near as bulky as massive predators like T-Rex. This balance made it both powerful and highly maneuverable, combining the strength of its size with the speed of its agility. So what do you think? Is bigger always better for a dinosaur, or does agility win out? Despite its weight, Its skeletal structure was surprisingly lightweight. Its bones were hollow, just like a bird's, giving it both power and speed. Even carrying a massive 2-ton frame, this was a creature that could still move fast, capable of catching prey with a sudden burst of speed. This is a fine testament to just how skilled nature can be as an engineer. If you could picture Allosaurus's size while watching this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. Which brings us to the next question. How did this giant body actually turn into a weapon? Now it's time to look at its skull. Among prehistoric animals, Allosaurus's skull had a truly remarkable structure. It was long, narrow, and relatively lightweight, setting it apart from other large predators with heavy, thick skulls. Inside were large open spaces, just like in birds, reducing its overall weight and helping it move quickly. Right above its eyes sat small, bony ridges rising from the skull, as if nature had given it tiny horns. Paleontology researchers believe these ridges were most likely used for visual display and recognition within the species, rather than for defense or hunting, perhaps to intimidate rivals or attract a mate. This shows that Allosaurus wasn't just a powerful hunter, but also a creature with a distinctive look all its own. So, what do you think these ridges looked like? A small crown or a terrifying mask? Use your imagination in the comments. If every new detail you learn about these ancient creatures gets you excited, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps me create more fossils and dinosaurs content. We've seen the overall structure of the skull, but what was the real weapon hidden inside it? Next up, Allosaurus's jaw and teeth. Among prehistoric animals, Allosaurus's jaw structure was a true engineering marvel. Its lower jaw had a more flexible connection than the upper jaw, letting it open its mouth incredibly wide. Scientists call this a kinetic jaw. Its bones weren't fixed, but movable. Its mouth held dozens of teeth, slightly curved backward with serrated saw-like edges. Studies of fossils show these teeth were constantly replaced. Whenever one broke or wore down, a new one grew in its place. Allosaurus could go through thousands of teeth over its lifetime. But here's the interesting part. These teeth weren't built for crushing bone. They were built for cutting and tearing flesh. Paleontology research reveals that Allosaurus's bite force was actually quite low, almost weak compared to T-Rex. Nature gave it a different solution instead. Using its head like an axe, thanks to that flexible jaw, it could tear open wide, deep wounds. It's genuinely fascinating to see how these ancient creatures developed such clever solutions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Now it's time to look at what this powerful jaw was actually aimed at. Allosaurus's hunting strategy. One of the most fascinating questions in Dinosaurs Explained content is how Allosaurus actually hunted. Scientists believe it used its head like an axe, swinging it swiftly downward and backward, tearing deep into its prey's skin and flesh. This technique let it hunt even giant plant-eating dinosaurs far larger than itself. Analyses of fossils show that Allosaurus didn't rely on a single powerful bite, but instead debilitated its prey through repeated, rapid attacks. This wasn't a sprint. It was a game of patience, a strategic predator that wore down its prey over time. Some paleontology researchers have found evidence suggesting Allosaurus may have hunted in groups rather than alone. If true, these ancient creatures weren't just powerful. They were also intelligent and organized. Isn't it fascinating to learn about this prehistoric predator's strategy? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss content like this. So did this hunting strategy make Allosaurus a lone hunter or a social creature? Next, it's time to look at its social life. For a long time, Allosaurus was thought to be a solitary, silent hunter. But fossil discovery efforts have brought new evidence that challenges this view. Dozens of Allosaurus skeletons found at the Cleveland-Lloyd Dinosaur Quarry in Utah show individuals from different age groups gathered in the same area. This has led some paleontology experts to consider that Allosaurus may have, at least at times, gathered in groups, perhaps cooperating during hunts or gathering around the same water source or carcass. So what do you think? Did these prehistoric animals truly have an organized social structure, or did they just happen to come together around resources? Share your thoughts in the comments. But we shouldn't accept this too quickly. Some scientists remain skeptical. Finding many skeletons in the same area doesn't necessarily mean they lived together. Perhaps they simply fell into a body of water and died, or arrived there at different times, one after another. This reminds us just how difficult it is to unravel the secrets of ancient Earth. Science is more about weighing possibilities than finding certain answers. If you want to keep uncovering the social secrets of this lost world, stick around for the rest of the video. So how were the young born and raised within this adult world? Now it's time to look at Allosaurus's most touching side, its offspring. Fossils of young Allosaurus reveal that the offspring of these ancient creatures led a life quite different from the adults. Juveniles had longer legs and lighter bodies, suggesting they chased different prey than adults did, and may have even lived in different areas. Some paleontology experts believe this could have been nature's clever solution to reduce competition with adults. Young Allosaurus chased small, fast prey, while adults focused on larger, heavier giants. This way, food competition was minimized even within the same species. So what do you think? Were Allosaurus young protected by their parents, or did they have to fend for themselves from the moment they were born? What are your thoughts on the life of these prehistoric families? If you don't want to miss details like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The story these fossils tell us truly shows that every Allosaurus had its own unique life journey, a tough struggle stretching from youth to adulthood. Every skeleton, in fact, carries a personal story waiting to be told. So how did such a powerful, clever, and organized species climb to the very top of the Jurassic world? Allosaurus's rise to dominance wasn't an accident. But that rise was also a warning sign of the great challenges waiting for it ahead. Allosaurus didn't rise to the top of the Jurassic food chain by accident. It had many powerful traits that made it such a successful hunter. First and foremost was its speed. Thanks to its lightweight skeleton and long legs, it could run remarkably fast over short distances. A huge advantage over slow-moving, giant plant-eating dinosaurs. Its strong forelimbs also deserve mention. Its arms, equipped with 3 sharp clawed fingers, were perfect for gripping and pinning down prey. Studies of fossils show these claws were powerful enough to inflict deep wounds. Another major advantage was its versatility. Allosaurus could hunt not only large dinosaurs, but also smaller, faster prey. This flexibility made it one of ancient Earth's most adaptable predators. So what do you think is the most valuable trait for a predator? Strength, speed, or versatility? According to paleontology researchers, this combination Speed, sharp claws, a flexible jaw, and strategic hunting made Allosaurus one of the most balanced and dangerous predators of its time. For millions of years, this combination made it the undisputed ruler of the Jurassic forests, a reign earned through adaptation and intelligence. But as we're about to see, no reign, however well-earned, lasts forever. If you've watched the video up to this point, hit that like button. No matter how powerful it was, Allosaurus was not invincible. In the dangerous world of the Jurassic, there were challenges even it couldn't overcome. One of its greatest weaknesses, as we mentioned earlier, was its low bite force. Compared to later giant predators like T-Rex, Allosaurus's jaw wasn't strong enough to crush bone, meaning it had to spend more time and energy to kill its prey. Some of the giants it hunted were also genuinely formidable. Stegosaurus, for instance, armed with plates along its back and sharp spikes on its tail, was no easy target. Some fossils that have been found show that a tail strike from Stegosaurus caused serious damage to Allosaurus bones. In other words, this predator took real risks with every hunt. So what do you think is the biggest risk for a predator? Getting injured or going hungry? Share your thoughts in the comments. Paleontology records show broken ribs, damaged vertebrae, and even healed but permanent injuries in some Allosaurus skeletons. This tells us that life for these ancient creatures was never easy. The story of such a powerful yet vulnerable predator brings us to our final and most dramatic topic. How did this species eventually vanish completely from this lost world? Now it's time to look at the extinction of Allosaurus. For millions of years, Allosaurus reigned as the undisputed ruler of the Jurassic forests. But no reign lasts forever. About 145 million years ago, as the Jurassic period drew to a close, the world slowly began to change. Climate conditions shifted, vegetation transformed, and the giant plant-eating dinosaur species Allosaurus hunted began to decline. This is an important example showing that extinction can actually be a long, slow process rather than a single, sudden disaster. Allosaurus didn't survive into the Cretaceous period. Over time, it was replaced by different, larger, and more powerful predators. So what do you think is the real danger for a species? A sudden catastrophe, or failing to adapt to a slowly changing world? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. Of course, the extinction of all dinosaurs happened much later, around 66 million years ago, with that legendary meteor impact. But Allosaurus had already exited the stage at the end of its own era, long before this mass extinction event. Fossil records show that other species began taking its place toward the end of the Jurassic. All that remains today are bones hidden deep in the earth, silent witnesses left behind by this magnificent predator of ancient Earth. But every fossil discovery adds a new page to its story, and thanks to paleontology, we can still recognize Allosaurus even millions of years later, carrying its final lesson into our own time. Through nature's cycles and the light of science, the past can always be rediscovered. And so, we've reached the end of the story of one of this lost world's most impressive predators. From its discovery to its extinction, Allosaurus taught us incredible things about evolution explained and about what Earth before humans was really like. So, what did you learn most from this video? Which trait of Allosaurus surprised you the most? Be sure to share in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this Dinosaurs Explained journey, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications. because we'll keep exploring more secrets of the prehistoric animals world together. See you in the next video.